See, when you get accepted by your respective college or trade school or wherever you go to the next level, you're going to get an opportunity based on your potential and not who you were at the time. See, colleges look at ACT and GPAs because they want to figure out what kind of potential does this student have. My coach recruited me based on my potential and not who I was at the time. I love to speak to high school kids because you are loaded with potential. I want you to understand that all the success that you have in high school is awesome. It sets a platform for the next level. But when you get to that next level, baby, when you leave high school, you are starting over. You have to reestablish yourself at that next level. I want you to be confident because you're going to be successful, but you got to understand that when you get to that next level, it's going to be more competitive. Is everybody with me? I found out that Richard Coffey can bench press 300 pounds. Richard Coffey can knock me down whenever he felt like it. The next morning I woke up and I went to my coach's office. I said, Coach, where's the weight room? He says, Walter, you okay? Coach, I'm fine. Where is the weight room? I got in the weight room. The only thing I could lift was the bar. But I made up my mind before I leave the University of Minnesota, I will bench press 300 pounds. And I thank God for Richard Coffey. Him knocking me down like that convinced me that I need to get into the weight room and I need to develop myself. And before I left the University of Minnesota, I could bench press 300 pounds. My coach recruited me based on my potential and not who I was at the time. Whatever you do after high school is going to be based on your potential. But it's your job to develop yourself. It is your job to get into your weight room. At the University of Minnesota, my freshman year, I don't play a lick. I had never sat on the bench in my life. At the end of that season, I went to my coach. I said, Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He said, son, you don't play for me. And I said, I know, Coach, but I plan on becoming someone different. What do I need to do to play in the NBA?
Think about this. Would you take your hard-earned money and invest it into anything that won't give you a good return on your investment? Of course you wouldn't. You wouldn't invest your money into anything that you are guaranteed to lose, right? So why would you take time, which is a very precious, valuable asset, and invest it into anything that won't give you the return on your investment? So you need to invest time into your children, time into your relationships, time into developing your craft, time into becoming an expert. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at time totally different. It's a very, very valuable commodity that we should not spend, that we should invest. So I want you to think about your day. And where do you normally waste time? I'm sure there's some time in your day that you waste, and you can go back and reclaim it. You know, sometimes people sit on the couch and daydream and do absolutely nothing for hours. There's loads of time that we all can go back in and reclaim and make sure that we repurpose that time to get us the reinvestment that we want. So today, every 15 minutes, get something done. Every 30 minutes, get something done. In fact, I believe your whole entire day needs to be scheduled. If your whole day is scheduled, and I promise you, if you live in 30-minute increments with speed and precision, you will blow yourself away on how much you can actually get done in a day. We all get 24 hours. So if you sleep 8 hours, you got 16 hours to impact the world. You got 16 hours to impact your family. You got 16 hours to impact your body. You have 16 hours left to do just about anything that you want to do. It's Monday morning, and don't spend your time ever again. Make sure you invest your time into things, activities, and people that are going to give you a great return on your investment.
Now, the one thing I learned about the NBA is simple, and I want to help you today. Confidence is a skill set. If you want to be the best in the world at what you do, I give you permission to be confident. When I left sports and got into the real world, I began to realize people struggle with confidence. Well, you know, I played in the NBA. Let me help you out. Michael Jordan knew who he was. LeBron James knows who he is. I want you guys to hear me and hear me good. Confidence is arrogance under control. That's all confidence is. I give you permission to be confident. The only way you can be successful in life is you gotta have confidence. You should be as confident as you can be without crossing the line into arrogance. And here's why. Arrogant people stop growing. Arrogant people stop developing because arrogant people think they have arrived. People ask me all the time, do you miss the NBA? No, not at all. Oh, yes, you do. No, I don't. Think about it. I have a very successful motivational speaking business. So people think I miss the money. I don't miss the money because I make more. I don't miss the travel because I travel more. The only thing I miss about the NBA and being in an arena like this is being around 15 people all day long who are thoroughly convinced they're the best in the world at what they do. That's what I miss about the NBA. I can't recreate that fellowship. There's a speaker named Brian Tracy who says this: your salary will be the average of your 5 closest friends. As you become a professional, never forget that. Whoever you hang around, you will become like. What does that mean for you as a high school student? Your GPA will be the average of your 5 closest friends. So if you ever find yourself needing a high GPA, get some new friends. If you ever find yourself as a professional wanting to go to that next level and make more money, get some new friends. See, when I played in the NBA, I hung around NBA people and I made NBA money. At the end of my career, all my friends were still NBA players. But Brian Tracy is right. Your salary will be the average of your 5 closest friends. I've been at the country club for 12 years now. Now, I can walk like they walk. Now, I can talk like they talk. Now, I think like they think. And now, I make what they make. Remember this: your salary will be the average of your 5 closest friends. Whoever you hang around, you will become like.
A lot of people are angry and frustrated that they didn't get to march. They didn't get to wear the cap and gown. The graduation is symbolic of you finishing. But here's my question for you. Why are you getting caught up in the ceremony? The question should be, now what? What's next? And here's the truth. When you graduate from something, it shouldn't be seen as the end. It should be seen as the beginning of something else more exciting and more powerful that makes you progress towards your ultimate goal and dreams. So the question I have for you, now what? And this is not just for graduating students. This is for all of us. In order to graduate college, you have to manage yourself effectively through the process. And some people take 4 years, some people take 5 years, some people take 3 years, some people take 6. It's all about how well you manage. So right now, here's my advice. We all should be setting goals, managing ourselves through it, and then finishing and answering the question, now what? You ask any high achiever, they always are seeking out the next goal. They always are looking for the next big thing to conquer. And as soon as they conquer it, the question is, now what? That's my message. We should never completely graduate. And I want to let you know, as long as you set goals, as long as you manage yourself through them, and you finish, the question should always be, now what?
I learned a long time ago that the likability factor is the best kept secret in business. People want to buy from people they like. People want to hire people they like. People want to be led by people they like. FFA, hear me good. The likability factor is the best kept secret in business. Are you likable? Right before I took this job, my daddy called me on the phone. My daddy was a quiet man, but I tell you what, when my daddy spoke, he was powerful. In fact, my daddy was always asking questions. So my daddy called me on the phone. He said, son, you broke your foot twice. What's next? I said, Daddy, I'm going to be a hospital administrator. 2-year program, $75,000. And I'll never forget my dad. He asked me a question. He said, son, do you believe you're an NBA player? Huh? Do you believe you're an NBA player? If you believe you're an NBA player, son, go for it. If you don't take the job, son. Do you believe you're an NBA player? Let me tell you something about my daddy. When I was a little boy, my daddy would always pick me up. When he came home from work, he'd pick me up. When he saw me after church in the nursery, he'd pick me up. All I had to do was lift up my arms, and my daddy would always pick me up. If we have any parents in here, mom and dads, I want to teach you something right now that you will never forget. The reason why children are fascinated with you picking them up is because it's a spiritual exchange. When you pick up your child, you change their perspective. Little kids all over the world, when mommy and daddy comes home from work, all they do is lift up their arms, and mommy, daddy, grandma, granddad, you know the drill. When we lift up our arms, your job is to pick us up. My daddy would always pick me up. He would always change my perspective. My daddy was 6'6". When he picked me up, I could see the world the way he saw it. But here's the problem. One day my dad looked at me and he says, boy, you're too big for me to pick you up. But my daddy never stopped picking me up. He never stopped changing my perspective. My daddy changed my perspective by asking a question: do you believe you're an NBA player? I got emotional on the phone. I cut off my Lionel Richie. And I said, yes. And my daddy picked me up one more time. I was 6'5", 215 pounds. I could bench press 300 pounds, but my daddy picked his baby boy up one more time, and he changed my perspective. And he said, son, if you believe you're an NBA player, go for it. Whatever you believe about yourself, FFA, go for it.